Do the hammer, do the hammer, yeah, I do the hammer like Kentucky Nets.
We've got a lot on my mind. This man right here was the nicest man I have ever met in professional wrestling. I've been around for a little bit. I'm not no veteran or grizzled vet or anything. I just happen to be around for a little bit. But Ray Evans was the nicest man I ever met. I only got to hang out with him a few times, and I talked to him a week. I talked to him a week before he passed away, and I talked to him a couple times before. Ray was one of the guys who was in this area regionally and kept companies going. It was guys like Ray, guys like Kit, guys like Chris, guys like Canyon. They kept these indie promotions going. So I have a lot of respect for Ray. Max, you know, Ray was, I really enjoyed Ray. We worked a show in Dallas. It was horrible, terrible show at a bazaar, which is a lot of these stories start out at a bazaar. But the best time I had, the show was terrible. I got to hang out backstage with Max and Ray. And that was it. That was better than any measly gas money they could throw at me that night. So I just wanted to say that before Stephen gets going. God bless Ray. God bless his family. What a wonderful man.
You know, who else better to talk about, you know, your father than the son? So get up here and talk about your dad. Okay. Max Muscle. Let me get out of your way.
Everybody has said it. I'm going to say the same thing everybody else said. Ray Evans, hands down, one of the nicest human beings I have ever known in my lifetime. He was a mentor to me. He was a very good friend. I spent a lot of time in the ring with him. I spent a lot of time outside the ring with him. When I got to SWF, when I first started, Ray was one of the big vets there. And the locker room at SWF was this little tiny hallway at the back. And they had an entrance for the faces and the heels on either side. And there was just enough room to sit there with your bag between your legs. And Ray would sit on the end, and then Max, and then the Punishers, and then the faces would sit down on this end. And here I am, this green kid, first match I've ever wrestled. And I'm coming down the aisle, and I sit down real quiet. I was always taught, sit there, try to get around the veterans if you can. Sit there, shut up, listen to whatever they tell you, and try to learn all you can from them. So I sit down on the bench, and I've got the opening match, my very first match. I get up, and I start towards the door, and Ray is the last guy on the end, and I looked at him, I said, Mr. Evans, I said, this is my first match, I'm scared to death. Can you please tell me, give me some advice before I step out the curtain? And he looked at me, he said, just go have fun. And I went out and I wrestled my match, and as most first matches are, it wasn't all that good, and I blew the finish, but I came back in afterwards, and he looked at me and he said, did you have fun? And I said, yeah. And he says, okay. And I walked back. And ever since then, the one thing I noticed about, if you were ever in the ring with Ray Evans, if you were ever around him, that man had fun in every single match he ever wrestled. He always had a smile on his face, and if you could wrestle a match with him and not crack up or smile at some point, it was absolutely impossible. Thank God I wrestled in a mask, because it helped a whole lot. But he was a truly great human being, and we love him and we miss him desperately.
All right, guys. Tell you what, this man right here, I've been knowing him for 32 years. I walked sport tournament. I used to be security, all the guys know. He called me one day, he said, look, these guys need security at the show in Mesquite. Todd, you know what I'm talking about, the villa. So I went down there, and
Here you go.
I walked in, I saw this security tonight.
5 minute, doctor.
Now,
All right, if you want to live. Yeah.
Ray told me, hey, Bro Moto wants to talk to you. I said, what about? He said, they need a rep. Only one was there was James. I said, man, look, I know nothing about the business. They said, yeah, you've been around long enough. I said, yeah, I have. James, of course, said, yeah, Buck, you can do it. James, I don't know. He said, yeah. He threw me the shirt. So This guy right here, I'm gonna tell you, he's one of the nicest guys. And he shows so many people respect and told us all how it should be in this business. And I want to thank Max, and Sister Rhonda. And you see all these people with these shirts on? It's because he's one of our brothers. Of course, he's on ours. So I just want to say, thank you, Ray. This is all for you.
Let me tell you about my dad. He's 5 years older than me. He was actually my brother. He trained me. He let me live my dream. And the only story I have that I like is my pro debut. He put me in a mask, called me X, and said, "Don't worry about it, everything will be fine." I'm sitting in the locker room, everybody's shaking my hand. "I'm whoever. Hello, how are you? I'm whoever. Hello, how are you?" And I don't know why they're doing it. He sits down beside me, and I say, "Ray, why is everybody shaking my hand?" And he says, "Oh, I forgot to tell you. If you don't shake people's hand in the locker room, they take you outside and beat the hell out of you." I told him, "That's not a good thing to leave out, Ray." But he was like that. And he would like it that he was here, remembered by his friends, Canyon, Dusty, Kit and Chris, James Beard, Gary Young, his SWF family, and my friends. Thank you all very much for honoring my brother, and may our Lord Jesus bless you and your family. Thank you very much.